Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu asyrafil anbiya wal mursalin. Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
So we shall continue with the grand secret, third part. We have learned part 1, part 2, now part 3. But the salient points that you have to remember are that there is only one existent all the time, and that is Allah. We are all part of Him, a subtle part of Him. All of it, all the existent, including space and time, is just a subtle part of it. So all the time we are talking now is with regard to the subtle part of Him. It's just like talking about the elephant tail, not the elephant. All of creation put together, including space and time, is not bigger than a particle of sand to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All the universe, everything put together, not bigger than a particle of sand to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we, all of us here, is in that particle of sand, that infinitesimal or quintessence or very fine part of what is in there. That differentiates us from the wadatul wujud or pantheism, which keep on saying that we are the whole thing. No, we are only the subtle part of it, not the whole Allah. Only a subtle part of it. Now, notwithstanding we are a subtle part of Him, we don't exist. That exists is a subtle part. We are only the manifestation. That subtle part transforms itself into creation. Be it the essence also creation, first creation, or the low mahfuz, which is the secondary creation, or the low mahfuz. Still in that subtle part. So all the time there's only one existence. So as a Sufi, you must remember there's only one existence all the time. In this way, you will not have conflict with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You will never have conflict with Him. Okay? At the same time, once you understood this very well, your perception of life will be different. Okay? Because you have understood the whole scenario. So with that introduction, I shall begin. So we're talking about the subtle. He is the subtle. That means to say, everything that we see here, including space and time, all together, is a subtle part of Him. As I say, it's like talking about the elephant tail, not the elephant. We are just like the elephant tail, not the elephant. You must remember, pantheism, they talk about the elephant. We say, no, we are just the elephant tail. Okay, so you must remember that. Just like an elephant tail. Only the blind will hold a tail and say this is an elephant, right? So can the blind be held equal to the seeing? And you can see the picture here. The blind holding the elephant trunk and say, this is the elephant. Another blind holds the elephant ear and say, this is the elephant. Another blind holds the elephant tail and say, this is the elephant. Oh, that is a tail, the ear, and the trunk. And what the elephant say? Alama. Right? I felt like cracking their heads. Elephant very angry. Yeah. See? So the three blind men and an elephant. So this outset is stressed to you. That we are talking about that subtle part of it. We are all in that subtle part of it. We are not talking Allah the exalted. No, just that subtle part of it. That bear in mind. And that is the only existence. You can see soul existed all the time. That subtle part of him transformed or manifested, transformed to be creation, be it the essence, which is the first creation, or the secondary creations, which are the low mahfuz. Be it the first or the second, all together, put together, is in that subtle part of it. It's just a transformation. It's just like you look at the eyes, you know all of it is water. The water transform and become ice. Okay, so you see, I will explain. At the beginning, there is Allah. Nothing was with him. He's alone. Alone. Okay, so you can see the picture, Allah. The illustration, Allah. And then suddenly appear the container. A feature of him appeared. And that we call the container. A feature of him appeared. Container. And then he said, be, and the container transformed to be creations, and that will be the essence and the low mahfuz. Okay, the beginning, there is Allah. Nothing was with him. Then appear the container, a feature of him, the subtle part of him appeared. Okay, then he said, be. Okay, and then come the creation, be it the essence and the low mahfuz. There is a hakikat and the sifat. Now here we learned it last week. When Allah, at the beginning there's Allah, and he said, let there be light. And then we have light, right? Sorry, first there's Allah, and they appear the container. Then he said, let it be light, all right? And then you have the essence, and then you have, let it be light, and there was the essence, and from the essence come the secondary creation, that is the low mahfuz. So then he said, be, that's the thing. So there's the container, and he said, be, and then let there be light, and so on and so forth. And there come the container, the creations, the essence, and low mahfuz. So at the beginning, there's Allah. Nothing was with him. Then suddenly appear the container. Okay. Then let there be light. Okay. That means let it be. At the same time, the light come in. They become the essence and the low mahfuz. Okay. So that the be, let there be light, and also the existence of the other secondary creation. So let there be light, the essence was there, and followed by the existence or the manifestation of the secondary creation. There's a low mahfuz. Again, I repeat, there's Allah, suddenly appear the container. And then when he say be, there's a let be light. Also, it means let it be creation. So be involved two. Let there be light, and there's a creation, the essence. And then be also the manifestation of the other secondary creation. Okay, so that's the step. First Allah, then the container, then the word be. There's be a two. let there be light. At the same time, let there be the creations, the other creation. So this essence, and the other creations are the secondary creation, which is the low mahfuz. Okay, so B, we can put it as, let there, we say B, that two, let there be light, and that is the essence. And also B also means that let there be the secondary creation, there's the low mahfuz. Okay, it is instantaneously, because at that time there is no time, no time. So when you say B, the essence and the creations, the other creations, come into being instantaneously, but there is no time. Okay, together. It is like in the Quran say that don't you know the sky and the earth was one time one. It's like that. Folded. So the essence and the secondary creation, the low mahfuz, were together as one. So let there be light also means let there be other creation. So the command they say, he merely say be. So there is a light essence, and there is also the other creations, the secondary creations. They are together, enmeshed together, because there's no time, there's no separation, no time, no space at the beginning. It was together until God create times. There is a six cities. Then after that, he had on throne. That means his work done. Time coming, and then you see the creation start to separate, and then we have the seven heavens, the space, the earth, the Sratul Muntaha, and others. So at the beginning, only him, there appear his container. Then he said, be, there was the light, the essence, as well as the manifestation of other creation. So the light is the essence, which is called the obligatory existence, and the other existence we call a probable existence. So the obligatory existence, when you say let there be light, the obligatory existence, that is the essence. And from the essence, we have the secondary or the probable existence, which we call the low mahfuz. So the obligatory existence also we call hakikat, and the probable existence we call sifat. So when you say be, so there is a light, at the same time the appearance of other probable existence. The light is the essence, which is the obligatory existence, and other creation, which is the probable existence. Okay, so you can see all come from the subtle part of it, and this obligatory existence or probable existence, we put it together as existence, be it obligatory or probable, they are existent. And this existence comes from the subtle part of it. Come from the subtle part of it. And therefore, they are manifestation. Okay? They come from the subtle part of it. They are the manifestation. Be it the essence, be it the creations, they are manifestations. Okay? And they come from the subtle part of it. So, example I can see the creation, essence, and low mahfuz. This come the manifestation from the container. Okay? And it's like you see the ice within the ocean, the ice. The ice come from the ocean. They are waters from the ocean. Okay, not the whole water, but some of the water from the ocean become ice. The ice are manifestation from the water of the ocean. Okay? So the ice come from the ocean. Similarly, creations, be it the obligatory or probable, they come from the continent. That's why we say, if anything happened, inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi rajiun, it means from Allah we come and from Allah we return. Okay? It's a direct explanation that we come from Him and shall return from Him. It's like the ice come from the oceans and will return to the oceans. And that's the ice here we see are the manifestation of the ocean. The ocean become ice because the ice are the water of the ocean. Similarly, we are His manifestation, and His hidden, the container hidden behind the manifestations, like the ice, you see, they are the manifestation, and the water is hidden inside the ice, not divorced or separate, together. Behind the ice, there is the water of the ocean. Similarly, when the creation, whether obligatory or probable, manifested, the container is behind, never separated, never, right? The container is behind. Okay, so the manifest also the container, and behind the manifestation is also the container. So it's the manifest, the hidden. So if you look at this, what you see outwardly, you know, like you see an ice, you see outwardly, you know that is water in a frozen form, in a frozen form, water, the ice. But you know also inwardly there is the water inside the frozen ice. So from this you can see that the ice are but manifestation of the ocean. The ocean manifested, become ice, and the water of the ocean hidden behind the ice. So the ice, the manifestation, and the water of the ocean hidden behind the ice. Similarly, as when we manifested, the creation manifested, the container hide behind the creation. Okay, so this outwardly you know, you see the ice, water, because of your knowledge, certainty of knowledge, and inwardly also you know water. So when you see creation, human being and all the creations, you know that these are from the container. Because we can say, oh, behind us the essence. Yes, the essence is the obligatory existence. We are the probable existence. Both together is existent. And behind this is the container. Okay? So we manifested, and we know, those who have knowledge know that the manifestation are also the container transformed into creation. And behind the transformation is the container. So when you annihilate the creation, you annihilate it, and you see the creation exists. Everything will perish. So you annihilate the creation, you can see the container. Because of your certainty of knowledge, you have certainty of vision. as we have studied. You look at the rice, you see the paddy field. Okay? Similarly, when you get rid of the creation, the features of the creation, including not only the probable, but also the obligatory existence, you annihilate both, you have the container behind it. Okay? Because why you have the container behind, there must be, because that you cannot perish it, because that is part of God. And it has no beginning, it has no end. That subtle part of him, like him, has no beginning, no end. We have. Okay, that's why beginning, before us, there's already the container. And after we all perish, there remain the container. It's like an iceberg. Before there is an iceberg, there is the ocean. After the iceberg melt, still there is the ocean. The ocean is and has no beginning, no end, as compared to the ice. So similarly, the container have no beginning, no end, but we do. Okay, we do. The creation have. So if you understood this, so everywhere you turn, having the certainty of knowledge, right? You look at the creation before you. With your certainty of knowledge, you have certainty of vision. You know behind all this existence, there is the container, omnipresent. Wherever you turn, there is my container. His feature, the subtle part of it. Everywhere you turn, you are facing his subtle part of it. Okay? So there's only soul existence. And that's why later on you will see, you will learn that we don't exist. Later on we come back. Last time we've covered it, we'll come back later to that. Okay? So we are at this point that we see there's only one soul existent. For the Sufi, we see only one soul existent. That's why just now you see there you are. Can the blind be held equal to the sea? So you see the blind man, the mistaken, the trunk, the ears, and the tail for the elephant. But we know that everything is only a part of, it's only from, we were talking about, you're only talking about the tail, not the elephant. Okay? But we know the tail is part of the elephant. So we know we all are the subtle part of Allah. Subtle part of Allah. It's never estranged or divorced, right? And you know, it's not the tail that moves by itself, but it was moved by the elephant. Similarly, as we are all from his subtle part. It's not that the subtle part moves by itself, but Allah move it. Move it. And that subtle part is part of it. It's like my hand. See, I move the hand. Although the hand moves, it's my hand, but I move it. Similarly, the subtle part of it move because he moved it. Okay? So now we come to soul ownership. All things belong to Allah, whether in heavens or on earth. So if everything belongs to him, nothing belongs to us, how can you say you exist? If you exist, sure something belongs to you. But Allah says everything belongs to me, whether in heaven or in earth. Now look at ourselves, that we call ourselves mankind, be it woman or man, mankind. Look at ourselves. Where is the mankind? Where is the mankind? You see, these are two arms, two legs, body part, head. Where are the mankind? Where? That you call human being? Where? Where? Don't have. See the trees. You look at the trees. You see the branches, the root, the the stem and whatnot. But where the tree? No, we don't exist. All creations do not exist. Okay? If we exist, then something belongs to us. Okay? But if everything belongs to Allah, how can we exist? Even the building you build, or the ship, or the airplane, or whatnot, you use Allah materials, not that you create new materials. It's from His material you assemble, belong to Him. Okay? So all in heaven and in earth belong to Allah. And not only the unseen also belong to Him. So whether it be Satan or genies, angel or whatnot, the unseen, like for example the wind or the air, all these belong to Allah, including honor, voice, hearing, seeing, all these belong to Him. Nothing belongs to us. That's why when we die, we leave our voice behind, our memory behind, everything behind. So that belongs to Him. So unto Allah belong the east and the west. We don't own anything. And you can see here, say, to whom belong the earth and all beings therein. Say, if you know, they will say, if you know who belong to whom, they will say, unto Allah, all belong to Allah. So will you not remember? All belong to Him, nothing belong to us. So how can you say you exist? Okay. Look again. Jesus say, you are just, oh Lord our God, because to you belong all the honor and glory forever. All the glory and the honor belong to Him. It's not shared with anyone. Forever belong to Him. So if you are honorable, if you have achieved some achievement, glory, that glory, achievement, honor belong to Him. He can take them back as and when He wants to. So that's why a rich person can become bankrupt. Honorable person can be troubled person. Bad person, evil person, because that honor belongs to Him. The glory belongs to Him. So be ever grateful every time you have glory and honor. And let's see Jesus, what He says. Jesus says here, all things created belong to the Creator, in such wise that nothing can lay claim to anything. That's soul, I say. This is the unseen. Soul, sense, flesh, time, good, and honor, all are God's possession. Okay. So if a man receives them not as God wills, he becomes a robber. And in like manner, if he spend them contrary to that which God wills, he is likewise a robber. Okay. Everything belongs to Allah. We don't exist if everything belongs to Him. If we exist, surely something belongs to us. No. And the Shaykh Abdul Qadir say, one you have no share, one have no share in that which he owns. That's how when you die, you don't bring anything. They bury your body, your spirit will go to the bazaar ramp or the alam bazaar, and there you will rest until resurrection. We do not own anything, but Allah owns everything. So how can we exist? And as Zubair asked Rasulullah, our Prophet, oh Prophet, I only have this date and a cup of water. Does this do this belong to Allah too? And I have to account for that? And the Prophet said, yes, you have to account for it. even a plain water, cup of plain water, and a date, that also belongs to Allah, subject to account. And Jesus said, verily, I say unto you, every time that your body receives breath, you breathe in, all right? Your heart ought to say, thank you, O God. Okay? Because that breath that you breathe belongs to Him. Okay? So you will see that Prophet lost hope and despair as well as everything else, but from Him too, belong to Him. So not only soul existence, we can see just now soul possession, soul possession, a soul ownership or soul possession. Then you have soul power. Okay? Be sorted to everything come back to Him. Everything will come back to Him for help or assistance or whatnot. Be sorted. Allahu Samad, administered everything. So you see, but truly the command is with Allah in all things. We don't have any power. He has the power. All the power belongs to Him. We don't have any power. The power that we have, He lent to us, which He can take back any time. That's why suddenly a person who is strong and healthy become paralyzed because He took away the power. Or got a stroke and he can't move half of his body. Allah took the power. Okay? The power belongs to Him, not to us. Okay? So remember, anytime He can take it back if He wants to. And that's what happened. Allah reminded us by the stroke, paralysis, and not only that, even the intellectuality or intellectual or intellect is from Him. He can take back your intellect and you become dementia. Okay? Okay. Take back your memory, that belongs to Him. And you become dementia. So Allah, the eternally besought of all, that means everything comes from Him. And we have to be whole to Him for everything. Because He's in charge of all, because He is the Almighty. Allah is strong and Almighty. That's why we come back to Him. Allah is omnipotent. He doesn't need us, we need Him. Okay? Not only that, everything that you see is His will. The trees with the leaf on top and the grass in the ground are His will, not ours. We human beings, the head is on top, middle is our hands, our body, and our leg. His will, He wants it that way. Animal run on 4 legs, He wants it that way. The fish live in the water, ocean, sea, pond, whatnot. He wants it that way. Bird fly in the air. He wants it that way. All this is His will, not us. All right? So, a person born female, male, His will. A person born is having a dark skin, fair skin, yellow skin, brown skin, His will, not us. Okay? So, you can see everything is His will. So, you see, for all come from the hand of God. Accordingly, shall not God have power to dispose at His own pleasure everything that belongs to Him? Okay? So He disposed it as His pleasure. Okay? All occurrences and incidences are but Allah who wills, as He's the Creator who plans everything. So 3 things you must remember. Before these occurrences occur, or incidences occur, before this, do Allah know? Yes. Before all this, does Allah know? Yes. Must Allah approve them? to happen. Yes. Otherwise, we can bypass it. And where this approval stated in the law mahfuz? That's why he say, I never miss. Nothing is amiss in the law mahfuz. So first he knew anything happen or not happening, he knew. He approved it. Otherwise, he's powerless. We can bypass it. And it's already recorded in the law mahfuz because he say, I never forget even a small or lesser than an atom. Everything recorded in the mother of book, law mahfuz there. So everything happened according to his will, not according to us. Verily all in the hand of Allah, be it good or bad. He ascertained them from the outside. We have no choice at all, you can see later. And if you believe you can change this, what is already willed, you think you can change it without his approval, then you believe like that, you will surely be condemned to hell. Rasulullah stated. Okay. And Rasulullah also said, if anything you want to do, always say, inshallah. And even God also say, inshallah. I mean, if God so wills, never say, I will do this thing tomorrow without saying inshallah. You must mention inshallah, because everything done is in accordance with his will, not your will. Okay? I say therefore, Jesus said, I say therefore to you that as God lives, in whose presence my soul stands, when you take time saying, tomorrow I will do this, I will say such a thing, I'll go to such a place, and not saying if God wills, you are a robber. Because that all belongs to God, and you're saying as if you own that. You are robbers. Okay? Remember the story about this farmer who want to attend to his crop, harvesting his crop tomorrow. He said, tomorrow we shall harvest our crop without saying inshallah. And the night before tomorrow come the insects, grasshopper, whatnot, attack his crop. The next morning, everything gone because he forgot to say God will. So be careful. Everything you want to do, you say God will, because what happened, what occurrences, what incidences, all this happen in accordance to God's will, not to us. Okay? So if he wills it, it will happen. So behold, even the sparrow, the birds, their feather will not fall without the will of God. God wills it. So God's will is destiny absolute. You can't change it. It's a destiny absolute. God leads astray whom he wills, and God who guides whom he wills. He is the one that lead people astray. He is the one that lead people to goodness. All him. But remember, only one existence is him. He is playing with himself. All other than Allah are but his creations, and all our movement are in his hand, and subject to his blessing as well as approval. So everything must be because of his will. Okay, so we can see it's powerful, soul power. Everything is besorted to. Everything we come back to him, and then everything is his will, and then we can see here all that we do are according to his direction. We can see here. But those endued with knowledge and faith will say, indeed, you did carry. I mean, you act within Allah's decree until the day of resurrection. That means we have to follow what he has decreed or scripted to us, or what he has written for us. We have to follow that until the day of resurrection. There is no two ways about it. There is no change. We can't change it. We have to follow it A to Z. And that's why, in short, you are but playthings to the exalted, to Allah the exalted. We are just like a puppet, right? And therefore, the life in this world is but play and amusement to Him. To Him, He's the one. We are His plaything. He's the one, the curator or the director that move us and do everything. We are just like a puppet on the string. Okay, so and not only that, that we follow His direction, His command, everything are His command. Truly, the command is to Allah in all things. He knows that He shares His command with any person. Whatever comes from our mouth, even though it's a command like in army or navy or whatnot, but that command in actual fact comes from the container. We are just a manifestation. So therefore, He say, nor does He share His command with any person whatsoever. Even though we heard the Sergeant Major say, attention, all the army personnel to feel attention. If you are blind, you see, you without this knowledge, you see the Sergeant Major, the drill master voice. But if you are not blind, you have this knowledge. You know that voice comes from the container behind, okay, behind the appearance, the manifestation. So that's why He says, nor does He share His command with any person whatsoever. He is the one who regulates all affairs. O Prophet, say, all things are from Allah, but what had come to these people that they fail to understand a single fact because these people are blind. There is also a verse in the Quran, you will be resurrected blind. And then you will ask, why am I blind, O Lord, when in this world I can see? And in the Quran it says, because my signs are everywhere and you didn't see. So you are resurrected blind. That is just Allah wanting to teach us not to be blind, right? And we need to find certainty of knowledge so that we have certainty of vision. And the first principle of Islam is to believe in God. And what did Imam Ghazali, a very famous Islamic scholar, said? Know the person, know the one that you worship before you worship. Know first before you worship. And Shaykh Abdul Qadir say, you won't have a solid salat or prayer if you don't know God. Okay, so it's important that we should not be blind. As I say, the first thing in religion is to know God. And 124 prophets were sent to His people, to their people, respectively, to teach the people to know God. Awaluddin Ma'rifatullah. The first thing in religion is to know God. Okay, so every command are from Him, and He says, man and all creations are subservient to Allah and not otherwise. So we have to obey His command. And therefore, if you are born a woman, so be it. You have to be subject to it and conform to it. We men, same also, unless in the law Mahfuz is written that later on you have this transgender. If it's written, then it shall be. If not, you'll be forever woman. You will be forever man, because we have to follow whatever stated in the law Mahfuz for us. Okay. Yes, you have no choice whatsoever in the matter. No choice, and then you have to look at it. Once He is put it that way, you have to be a woman, a man. You have this skin, you have this culture, you have this language, these are your parents, these are your children, this is your job, this is your health, this is your Everything, and this is the time you die, all that. You have no choice, but you have to conform. Because behind it is the content and that play. That's why life in this world is amusement and play to him. And he cannot be questioned. But you will be questioned. Remember Jesus said, why is the gate to hell? Then, after knowing that he's a sole existence, he's a sole ownership, therefore everything about Allah is absolute. He doesn't share anything with anyone. Everything is absolute about him. Okay? Allah is absolute. So how can we exist? He's absolute. Allah, the eternal, the absolute. You cannot exist. If you exist, He is not absolute. Okay? Allah is the unique creator, regulator. And Allah does not dwell in anything, nor anything dwell in Him. Ruler of the universe is absolutely one. Okay? We are just a subtle part of it. It's not that He dwell in here and we dwell in Him. No, we don't exist. We are manifestation. He is absolutely one all the time, only one existence. So long as we deny the absolute oneness of God, we are in error. That's why for Sufi, they only see one existence all the time. You see two, then you are denying the absolute oneness of God, and you are in error. Allah alone is the one true God. That the Muslim alone faithfully profess is absolute unity. And I would say that is more to the Sufis. The Sufis only see one absolute unity. For the Sharia people, they still believe that they exist and God exists. So they are two. For the Sufis, they are entrenched to believe that they don't exist. Only Allah exists. So they profess absolute unity. Okay? And we see here, God is one, and His religion is one. There's no other religion in the world like Islam, which professes and defends this absolute unity of the deity. Now, this refers also to the Sufism, the Sufis, because only the Sufi stress that there's only one existence all the time. They never say that we exist. They profess that we don't exist. That's why the Hujatul Islam, scholar of Islam, Imam Ghazali said, if you know yourself, you know your God, you don't exist. We are just the subtle part of Him, manifested, become creation. We are part of Him. The manifestation is just like what is the mirage, right? Not in existence. There's only absolute, it's like the ice in the water. When you have the knowledge, you know the ice is also water of the ocean. There's no two, but one existence, the ocean. Similarly, all creations are manifestation of the subtle part of Him. And since we are the subtle part of Him, there's only one existence, and that is Him. The person and nature of Allah are absolutely beyond human comprehension. We cannot describe Him because there's no data about it, nothing. Even that we know is a subtle part of Him, not the whole of Him, only the subtle part. We don't have any knowledge about Him. And therefore, an attempt to define His essence of Himself is not only futile, but even dangerous to our spiritual welfare and faith, for it will certainly lead us into error. And that is why you can only learn by certainty of knowledge that bring about certainty of vision. It's like you see the shirt or the take a simple example, the table, wooden table. Okay, you see a wooden table because certainty of knowledge that the table is a wood. Therefore, even though you can't see the tree, you have the certainty of vision that this table is from a wood, from the wood of a tree or from the tree. You can see it from certainty of knowledge. Okay, certainty of knowledge also you will see children. You will have certainty of vision that they have parents, mother and father, except for Adam, Eve, and Jesus Christ. Okay, Adam and Eve, no parents. Jesus, no father, only mother, Mary. Because of certainty of knowledge. Then we see is immeasurable. Okay, only the subtle part is immeasurable. We are not talking of the whole of Allah, the exalted. Only the subtle part that engulfs everything that we see, even the outer space or everything is in that subtle part of Him. That already immeasurable, and that Jesus say, God is so immeasurable that I tremble to describe. He's talking. We take it face value that he's talking about the subtle part. The subtle part itself is immense. We can see America from here. How can we see the whole of the universe? Impossible. By that is the subtle part, and therefore is immeasurable. And not only that, he's immeasurable because he has no beginning, no end. How to measure him? He has no beginning, no end. I confess, our God alone, that he has not had beginning, nor shall he ever have end. So how to measure him? Okay. Not only that, he invisible, hidden, and unseen. How to measure him? It's like looking for a black cat in the dark of the night. You can't see him. So Allah we can see, invisible, hidden, and unseen. How to measure him? Jesus said, it's written that God is invisible and hidden from the mind of man. So how to measure? Yeah. As for those who fear their Lord unseen, you can see him. How to measure? This is immeasurable. That your eyes can see all of Allah is something impossible. No, never. Only the subtle part we can see and the whole of him know. Nothing like him. So you cannot even visualize something like him. How to measure? There is nothing whatever like unto him, and there's none like unto him. So how to measure? You can't even visualize him with something. Okay. Cannot be visualized. Just now, nothing like him now cannot visualize. No vision can encompass him, but he encompasses all vision. No vision can encompass. You cannot visualize him. And then, if you can visualize Allah, and this Professor Ramadan say, if you can visualize Allah in a certain place, this means your mental capacity is greater than Allah. This proves that he could not be God, because comparatively his divine capacity fell short of yours. This being the case, it has been normal for our mind to just believe in his existence without attempting to visualizing him. You cannot visualize him, so you can't measure him. And it's not a study subject. You can't study him. And what happened to the Christian? The Trinitarian branch of Christian church for about 17th century has exhausted all the brains of her saints and philosophers to define the essence and the person of deity. And what they invented, they believe in God who is the third of three, the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost, the Trinity. Yeah? So it's not subject of a study of God. You can't. Otherwise, you will be misled, as the Christian were misled to Trinity, concept of Trinity. So just now we see Allah that is immeasurable. Now we see Allah infinite. That means it just only Him all along, nothing else. It's like looking at the ocean, all the way you see ocean. There's no iceberg there, nothing on the ocean. That is really so infinite, infinite. God being infinite, but man is finite. Finite. We have distance. That means we are enclosed by distance, by gap, by whatnot. We are can be measured. But Allah, you can't measure. It's infinite, on and on and on and on and on, like ocean water, on and on and on, nothing, just on and on. But Allah is like that. In the word Asa, infinite. Right? We are finite. Okay, so in your infinite goodness, oh God, you are not subject to motion, nor to any accident. So He never moved. The one that moved is the one that manifested inside the low mahfuz that moved. Outside the low mahfuz, He doesn't move. Okay, that's why I say in your infinite goodness, go on and on, you do not move. If you move, then we inside the low mahfuz will suffer. Okay, He does not move the outside. Okay, so you can see here. Now this world again love God, because by nature they long after God. For as much as according to nature, everyone longs after God, even though they err in seeking God. And know you, wherefore all long after God. Why they miss God, or they long after God? Because they long, everyone after an infinite, everyone are looking for the infinite goodness. That beauty, that holisticness, the holiness. We're looking for that. Every one of us looking for that kind of utopia. This part they call it a utopia. Yeah. We're looking for that utopia. And that utopia is only with God alone. Okay? Because He's infinite. No problem. Infinite. No evil, nothing. It's good all along. Infinite. Then we see here, okay, because if He is infinite good, good all the way, never evil, and that is God, and that's why we're looking for Him. God is good. Jesus say God is good, without which there is not good. See? God is being, and without which there is no being. God is life, without which there is no life. So great that He fills all and is everywhere. He encompasses all. That is His subtle part. Encompasses all. Behind every existence, there is the container. Fill and encompasses all. He alone had no equal, because only one existed, that Him. We are just manifestation. He had no beginning, nor will He have any end. But to everything had a beginning and an end. He had no father, no mother, He had no son, no brother, no companion, and because God had no body, therefore He eat not, sleep not, die not, walk not, move not, but abide eternally without human similitude. Don't have human characters, nothing. Put it blindly, blindly that we just don't know how He is. No data about it. Okay, so you can see here, His infinite, His goodness is infinite, His power is infinite, His will infinite, all infinite, because only He exists, no one else exists. So He doesn't share His infinity with anyone. Okay, and everything He does got merit, because He's all wise. If He does things that no merit, He cannot be God. Okay, So you can see, deem ye not then that we had created you for naught. You think there is no reason we make you. That's what people say, everything happened for good reason. Because everything he does have a good reason. Okay? We created not the heaven and the earth and all between them, but for just end. Fairness, all that, just end. You may think it's not fair, but who are you? He's the all-wise. He knows better than us. That's why when Satan, Iblis, say, "Oh God, why do you appoint human to be your representative, Khalifa? Why? We are the one who pray to you, and always be with you all time. Why don't you choose? Why choose this human being who will fight among themselves and will not be grateful to you?" Okay? And what did Allah say? I know what you don't know. Okay? That is, I know what you don't know. That's why, you see, he created things for reason, for just end. And it will be us in future, given the task to bring them back to fall and worship Allah. Okay? And that is the trust that given to the earth refuse, to the sky refuse, to the mountain refuse, but we accepted to bring them back to worship Allah. Okay? And that is the reason why Allah made us the Khalifa. He knew it, but not the Iblis and Satan. Not without purpose did we create heaven and earth and all between. They all got merits, Allah, because He most all-wise. And we have not created heaven and earth and all that is between them without meaning and purpose. If you believe otherwise, then you are the one who are wayward, bend or denying the truth. You are the wayward. So which is your Lord's favor do you deny? Everything is His favor. Even we heard people say, urination is also a favor. If you can't urinate, you will suffer. Even urination is a favor. Okay? Now, which your Lord favor will you dispute? All belong to Him. All got merits. But we don't know. Okay? And He's a perfect planner. They plan, and God planned. And God is the best of planners. Okay, so look, we all have predestination. To whom do you want to give your life so that person can guide you? Better than Allah. Nobody is better than Allah. So you give your life to someone else to guide you, you may falter. But you trust Allah, you will succeed. And therefore, predestination is a plan that Allah already planned for you for your benefit. They are wish merit, though we didn't know. Because He's the best, all-wise, the perfect planner. So the one that He planned for us must be perfect, must be very good. Otherwise, he cannot be God. So do you accept predestination? If you don't accept now, you're going to go to whom to predestine your life? Nobody. Even lately we see the collapse of cryptocurrency and we suffer a lot of money in Singapore. Nobody is perfect, but you trust in Allah. He is perfect, the perfect planner. Okay. Right? No misfortune can happen on earth or in your souls, but is recorded in a decree before we bring it into existence. That is truly easy for Allah. Okay? So He's the one that stipulate what misfortune will happen. He's the one. And he recorded it. And even if we put a stipulated misfortune, even that got married. You have to believe that. Because he's all wise. God is the creator of all things. And he alone has the power to determine the face of all things. And you see here, all that happen are according with Allah's wills, and he's the creator and planner of all things. You think you plan? No, the planning comes from him. Behind the manifestation is the container network, okay? The subtle part of his network. So Moses said, our Lord God is he who gave to each of us its forms and nature, and further give it guidance. He's the one that guide us. Okay? And nothing have we omitted from the Lawh Mahfuz, from the book. And not an atom weight in the earth or in the sky escape our Lord's attention. No, what is less than that or greater than that, everything written down in the Lawh Mahfuz. So when someone give you something, this you see, when someone give you something, that action is Allah's action, and with his approval, and the action is his action too. So a person, a homeless person, a rich man come and give him 10,000, here man, 10,000, right? Shape up yourself and try to go back to society. If the man did not see the truth, he will say, thank you, man, you are wonderful. That is blind. If not blind, he's if a Sufi, he got it, he will say, Alhamdulillah. Thank you, O God. Because he realized that someone give you something, that is Allah action, and with his approval. Okay? And that is already decreed by Allah, right? Approved by. So we Sufi, we see behind the scene, okay? Not at the facade. No misfortune can happen on earth or in your soul, but recorded in a decree before we bring it. There's everything already predetermined or predestined. There's no two ways about it. It's easy for Allah. And it's Allah who inspired wrongs and rights. He inspired. So the one who commit evil like Satan, Iblis, all are inspired to do that. And that is why Allah is most forgiving. Right? And Allah had spoken, Jesus had said that Allah had spoken that if the Satan, the Iblis will say, oh Allah, we have sinned to you, please forgive us. And Allah told Jesus, I will forgive them and will reinstate them to the position before I banish them. Okay? It's an open check, open. Or what you call this, a rain check. Anytime they feel like they want to ask for forgiveness, Allah is ever ready. Okay? So every man face we have fastened on his own neck. Yeah, you have to follow that. When you born, our script or predestination, so they hang on our neck spiritually. Yeah? Okay. And we have to follow that. Okay. You must know that the calamity befalling on you will not disappear from you. And that which will not happen will not cause you any harm. If you believe otherwise, you will surely be condemned to hell. In other words, what has been predestined, you can't change. And if you are visited by calamity, do not say, if only I did it this way or that way, you can escape. Right? I told you to go by this way, why you go by that way? No, don't do that. What Rasulullah said, but say, Allah had written it down, and what he had written down will surely happen. So you walk this way or that way, already happened. Whatever thing like this happen, you must say, Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. Let it be known that if only will open the way for Satan to tempt us. So you will beat up your son or daughter for disobeying, or for breaking articles. All this done because it's already stipulated, it's already predestined. So whatever happened, say Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. From God to God will return. You cannot say, if only you will listen to me and then you become angry, you will inflict pain to the other person. That's why Allah, let be known, if only will open the way for Satan to tempt you and you become very angry. Okay. Even if you have gold as size Mount Uhud and donate it to charity, Allah will never accept it. He will never accept predestination. And talk about Moses, he told Adam, because of you, we all are kicked out from paradise, from heavens. Because of you. And what did Adam say? What are you talking about, man, Moses? You know, before I ate the forbidden food, it was written 40 years. 40 years before I came into existence. So when I came into existence, I ate it because it's already written. And that's it. Okay? Everything that you were doing or not doing, already written. No two ways about it. You have to follow it. Why did you have to follow? Because behind us is the container. He's playing with himself. Okay? That's what this life in this world is his amusement and play with himself, with nobody else. Okay? Well, can it be cruel if only the existence is the soul existent? So the main thing is to surrender. And that is Islam. It's unto him that whatever is in the heaven and earth surrender itself. Willingly or unwillingly, they will return. Because he is almighty. I am commanded to be the first of those who surrender, our holy prophet said. Say, there's a prophet, holy prophet, I have surrendered myself to God, and so have those who followed me. That is we, the Ummah. Islam is absolute submission to the will of Allah. Say, Allah, suffice me. There's no God but Him. Hold on to Him. When thou hast decided upon a course of action, place thy trust in God. For verily God loves those who place their trust in Him. Hold on to Him day and night. Hold fast unto God. Is your Lord supreme. Begin with piety, end with submission to Allah, surrender to His will, and total reliance on Him. So for the learned, you have learned that you don't exist. Every act of yours, whether action or omission, these are the acts of the container, the subtle part of it behind it, which has transformed into you and acted according to what been written in the script. So it's the subtle part of it, acting, and the only existence is that subtle part. Everything that you see or you don't see, the seen and the unseen is from the subtle part. Okay? You learn that you don't exist. It's his game, his play, his amusement. You don't exist. Okay? You must accept that, and then you can be all right. Once a person is slated by Allah to be the good one, once you understood this, therefore they should not be anger, frustration, worry. I mean, you just surrender. And that is Islam. And you say, oh God, do whatever you want to do to yourself. Inna lillahi wa inna raji'un. We come from you, back to you. We come from you, return to you, belong to you. Do whatever you like. Do your own. Okay? So once you understood this, one person is slated by Allah to be the good one, Allah will give him deep understanding or religious knowledge. You will accept what I have said, and you find your life will be a turnaround. born again, come and resolute and holding to Allah steadfast. Okay. One who knows himself and knows his God will surely know that he does not exist. Surrender. For he thought and he plotted. How can you think? How can you decide? You don't exist. And woe to you. How can you decide? Plotted. Woe to you. How can you decide? But what it meant here, live accordingly, the prophet said. But know that what you live accordingly, that is also within predestination. Okay? You want to scold your son because it's not his scold. That is predestination. You don't want to scold, also predestination. So you say, if everything predestined, I don't need to scold my son now because he broke the vase, like China vase, he broke it. So that is already predestined. I don't need to scold him. Then he can continue breaking more and more. No, you don't talk like that. You want to scold him, go ahead and scold. You want to chastise him, go ahead. That also in predestination. But if you don't want, and you say like what I had said just now, like that, wow, everything predestined, let him break all more and more. That also is predestination. So whatever you say, whatever you act, is in predestination. So you got angry with your son. You say, you stay in your room, you're grounded for 1 month. You only come down for food. Otherwise, don't stay in your room, don't come out. Grounded your son. That was a predestination. Another family say, oh, no need lah, this son was naughty, you talk nicely to him, no need to punish him. That also in predestination. Nothing operates outside the predestination. Whether you do it or you don't do it, all inside predestination. So how can you think, how can you plot? It's predestined. You don't exist. I'm acting, not you. The subtle part of me is acting. The subtle part is acting amusement with himself. How can you plot? How can you think? You don't exist. Okay. They opine that it's a sin to have the yearning coexist with divine will. You don't exist, so you don't have any will. It's already a sin. Those truly fear Allah among His servants are they who have knowledge of Allah, is exalted in mind and of forgiving. So for all of you, slowly and eventually, inshallah, this concept, understanding, if not now, will come into you. And you can see the change in your life different. Because the understanding Allah gives, and that change your life, become holistic. And that is what everybody looking for, to be near to Allah, who is holy. So when you become holistic, the aura around yourself feel holistic. People will find very nice to be with you. Okay? So you will no longer entertain any desire, goal, or purpose. Yes. You are devoid of any need. Yes. Or yearning, by virtue that your need or yearning is for Allah only. Yes. Divine will then manifest on you. Then everything you do, you know that is the divine will. And you keep your mouth bloody shut. Shut up. Okay? And that's what Shaykh Abdul Qadir said. Even if the action of God come out through you, you must keep quiet. That means you know this God will. You learn that whatever you move, everything, these are the action of the subtle part of Him, which engulf you or encompasses you. It moves. It is the marifat, the move the hakikat and the sifat. So it is the primary vision, you get it? Primary vision, and the primary vision move the secondary visions and the natural vision. So it's the primary vision that is the containment, the subtle part of it that moves us. You know it, that this action, his action. That's why you say Khidir and Moses. Moses was very angry. Hey, you cannot kill the boy. You cannot destroy people, sheep. Why are you doing all this? And what he does, I'm not doing this out of my own will. He there knew it is what God wanted him to do. He does it, or he did it. And Moses could not take it. So what eventually happened? He just said, "Oh, Moses, that is the difference between you and me. You can never understand, and you can never be patient. Because what you don't understand, you cannot be patient. So this is the goodbye between us." He left it. See? So if you understood, you will realize that whatever you are doing are the doing of the subtle one. You keep your bloody mouth shut. If you have the knowledge, you have the grand secret. No need to tell people because people may not believe it. Those who have no knowledge, who are blind, they may even object. Okay? Of course, you cannot be God. God is the whole. This is the subtle part. You don't exist. You cannot be God. But you know the action from Him. So keep your mouth shut and surrender. That they say, let it be, like, oh, you, Sarah. You no longer entertain any desire, goal, or purpose. You are devoid of any need or yearning by virtue that your need or yearning is for Allah. You have surrendered to Him. Divine will then manifest on Him. And therefore, even Satan will be very, very afraid of you. A person of wisdom, a faqih, a person with wisdom or knowledge of God, that the knowledge that Allah gave to you, is more burdensome to Satan than 1,001 abid or ardent worshippers. Okay? Because you have the knowledge. Say, are those equal, those who know and those who do not know? Say, can the blind be held equal to the seeing? Well, ye then consider ye not. When everything is annihilated, so when you annihilated everything before you mentally, all right, and not a single thing is left with you, then you will realize that what manifests are but the divine will on you. That whatever you did, the divine will, to keep your bloody mouth shut. Don't blah your blah there. People will not accept whatever you say. Just keep quiet. You know yourself. No need to tell people. This is good for Abdal, those who have changed. And those who have spiritual knowledge, people who knows Allah. So if they change you, you have this knowledge, you accepted this knowledge, you're comfortable with this knowledge, you realize that whatever action is but the action of God through you. Keep your bloody mouth shut. We see this later. If 10 ways to worship, 9 is keep your bloody mouth shut. Okay, we see that later. This is good for Abdal. Once you have changed, keep quiet. No need to tell people, unless you have to teach. That's different. And those who have spiritual knowledge, people who knows Allah, keep quiet. And that's why he doesn't want to show people the knowledge he has. He just mind his way, aloof, alone, nobody recognize him. Because nobody will believe him if he says that what you see I'm doing, killing this boy, breaking the ship up, all these are God wills. They won't, because they don't understand, like Moses cannot understand. Okay, so that's why when you have reached this Abdal position, keep your mouth shut and surrender to him and be like Khidir, keep quiet. Unless what want you to teach like Khidir, he has to open up to Moses. But even that Moses cannot accept it. In reality, there's no doer, see, or mover, yes, or non-mover, except Allah, yes. There's no good or bad, no loss or profit, no dividend, no reward or obstruction, no opening or closing, life or death, honest and disgrace, rich or poor, all that are part of Allah's control or the game played by the subtle part of it. Okay? That's why I say life, this world is amusement and play. So once you annihilated yourself, I mean, you realize you don't exist anymore, then you become absolutely the object of divine will. And you realize that whatever you do is the divine will. Okay? And how can thou have patience about things about which thy understanding is not complete? Yes, that is what he did said to Moses. So again, if you understood what I've lectured tonight, and there's a change in it, that you realize you don't exist, at this change, you understood wholeheartedly, you understood well that you don't exist, you realize whatever your action are but the action of the subtle part of him, then keep to yourself. Because many people will not understand, even you to explain, difficult. And like for yourself, I mean, to you all, you have to continue listening to my lectures until one fine day, if not now, the understanding comes. Then you'll be God's man, the elites, the one that Allah put the knowledge in him. You will see that. Okay? So if these people difficult to understand, they may even laugh at you, if you explain. But since you want to learn about Sufism, I'm being given the task to explain what a Sufi about. So I'm explaining. At the end of the day, you will understand that you don't exist. That every action, every word, everything that you do is actually the work, the action of the subtle one, not true. You don't exist. So you live with that knowledge and surrender. That's why Allah said to the Prophet, Holy Prophet, "Oh Muhammad, be you the first to surrender." And the Prophet also said, Allah said to the Prophet, "Say, I and those who followed me surrender to you, Allah." We also said, well, because you have this knowledge. And if people cannot understand you, or that person is blind, don't have that visual certainty of vision, don't have that certainty of knowledge, they do not know about this, then that is the parting between you and them. Keep away, leave them alone, don't bother them. They also follow the will of the subtle one, you also the same. So we shall continue next week, inshallah. I hope I can bring you deeper and deeper, and hopefully you will become one of the elites that understood this well and be part of Allah elites as appointed by him. We'll see this about elites in future when we go further. Okay. Well, I'll stop here and come back to the coordinator, Mr. Bayu.
Baik, terima kasih Ustadz. Alhamdulillah, sahabat semuanya. Baru saja kita simak Grand Secret yang ketiga. Alhamdulillah. Terima kasih Ustadz. Oke, seperti biasa Ustaz, 10 menit untuk zikrullah bersama Ustaz.
Okay, we shall zikrullah means remember Allah. Remember Allah. This is the Prophet told the companion, do you want to know the best ibadah that you can do? And the companion, yes, oh Holy Prophet, please tell us. And the Holy Prophet said, zikrullah. What it means by zikrullah? Zikr means remember. Zikrullah means remember Allah. Okay? No need to say Allah, 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 because the Prophet say a lot of oral Allah, Allah, without remembering Him, will make your heart harden. And Allah keeps away people who heart is hardened. So just remember Him, relax and remember Him. Like you can remember your name, Ali, Ali. No need to visualize, no need to spell. So instead of Ali, remember Allah. And if steadfast. So every time after prayer or whenever you are free, as you are walking along, remember Him with your eyes open. At home, you can close your eyes, but outside, don't close your eyes. You may bang against a Bengali and the guy will whack you. Right? Open your eyes when you're walking, right? But at home, you can close your eyes. Even now, you can. To remember Him, put in your mind, you say Allah, and then focus your eyes to that remembrance of Allah. Focus so that you seal your eyes so it won't move. You can open your eyelid to seal it and then be steadfast. Okay? Bismillah, proceed. Allah. 10 minutes.
Udah 10 menit, Ustaz.
Alhamdulillah. So next week we have a Q&A, question and answer. I'll be in Jakarta. We have a seminar on this knowledge of God. We have a seminar there. I'll be in person in Jakarta. If anyone want to see me personally, they can go to Jakarta at a seminar. I'll be there. Inshallah. You can meet me personally. No problem. Inshallah. So thank you very much. We shall continue our lesson next week. I still have the Q&A, even though I'm in Jakarta. And wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.